Welcome to Threshold Stories, a podcast about people crossing thresholds, one story at a time. I'm your host, Jeff Cora. I'm an author, athlete, and coach, and adventure travel guide. This show explores topics like fitness, overcoming adversity, faith and science, travel, and my favorite, what it takes to be a Christian author in the 21st century.
Hello, Jeff. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again, Phil.
You know, you've given us some phenomenal information, and I want to address one thing that one question that somebody had sent in to us, and they say that, you know, they're already a high achiever, type A personality, and they're in great shape. It's like they ride 100 miles a week or they hit the gym like every other day. What does your individual coaching bring them for the massive climbs in Spain and the endless rollers of the Blue Ridge Parkway?
That's a fair question. So I try to remind people both at the start and in the middle when I can that they're on vacation. So if they want to turn this into an epic workout, they're entitled to do that. But remember, you can also do that at home in your basement or your gym or your local roads. So the question is, if you're in another country, in another place, what do you want to do besides ride a bike? In Spain, there's always an athlete or two who's got a multiplier of fitness beyond everybody else. Last year was a guy named Robbie. Robbie and rode with Jordan, my A rider, and he was truly fit. It was better than everybody else when it came to fitness. But I encouraged them, instead of just pushing it to the limit, pause. Like, there were some cliffs they were riding on in a national park in Spain down on the southeast coast that they'll never replicate. There's nothing like that in the United States. There's nothing in California that replicates that, or Maine in Acadia National Park. And they said, just slow down and appreciate that, because that's what you're on vacation for. That part's another part of it. But keep in mind that you have the freedom to sample cuisine at any time when you're on a bicycle. Spain is a village-centric country. Spain is not Barcelona plus Madrid plus everything else. Barcelona and Madrid are the anomalies. Real Spain is where we're going to be riding. Lots of villages of, 1,000, 2,000 people, and that's all that's there. And they each have their own signature. They each have their own unique flavor to them. You might say it's like the United States, or at least the East Coast of the United States, used to be in the 1800s, where there was a vast difference between Philadelphia and Baltimore. Now, with commercialization, a lot of the buildings and certainly a lot of the stores are all the same. Well, that's not true. Take advantage of that while you're in Spain. On the Blue Ridge Parkway, to address the disparity in the fitness, I remind people that you really can't get lost. Every morning, I'm going to tell you go south, and I'm not going to deviate from that. It's consistent. South is the way to go. But I'm going to encourage different people at different fitness levels to work on their pacing. So the Blue Ridge Parkway is a completely engineered road. It's the only one we have in the United States. And you don't need to concern yourself about, am I going too fast around this corner? Because all the corners on the Blue Ridge Parkway are engineered corners. So there's really not a concern of running off the road. And the same is true on the climbs. I'm never going to have a section of 10% gradient on the Blue Ridge Parkway. The engineering caps the gradient at 8%. So I'm never at this place where I'm going to be completely overwhelmed and fatigued by the road in front of me because I don't know what it is. You can truly practice pacing and downhill descending skills on the parkway like no other place in the United States because it's so safe.
Jeff, tell me, what's the difference between a fit athlete that is, flat ground fitness or general gym strength that doesn't automatically translate into the vertical gain or thin air?
Yeah, so I would say the majority of people who've done either of these events are what I'll call flat earthers. That doesn't mean they believe that the earth is flat. It just means that most of their training grounds are flat compared to what they're about to do. And I give people, metrics to allow themselves to feel comfortable. And for both locations, both the Blue Ridge Parkway and in Spain, I tell them 0.7. So you're going to go 0.7 times as fast as you normally go for the same effort. So if you're a 20 miles an hour person on flat ground, which is a good number, then you should expect to average 14 miles an hour on the Blue Ridge Parkway or riding in Spain. If you're 15 miles an hour, you're going to be 0.7 times that. So you should be expecting, 10 and a half, 11 miles an hour is what you're going to be averaging in Spain. For some people, that's overwhelmingly dissatisfying to see their end of the day numbers on Strava, ride with GPS, whatever the tool is, and see how slow they went compared to what they're used to. Keep in mind that the terrain is different. You're not comparing apples to apples when you compare your home riding with these other rides. And that's okay. I promise you, you're going to look back on when you're back in your home and you're on your home rides again, you're going to look back on these two tours and, and have positive memories as you recall those hills that you used to swear at when you were going up them and they never seemed to end, or were scared when you were descending, thinking to yourself, why is this person in front of me squealing and having fun where I'm fearing for my life? Those memories are real and they're positive. It makes the trip worth it.
For more information on any of the Threshold Academy expeditions, go to thresholdacademy.com. Again, that address is thresholdacademy.com. Also, please like and share this show with your friends and fellow travelers. For Threshold Stories, I'm Phil Earhart. Thanks for listening.